Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News, where we are discussing climate change, abrupt climate change, and things adjacent. And today in climate change reality, we're going to look at this story out of Brazil. More than 500 million bees dropped dead in Brazil within 3 months. Sometimes in reading all these articles, the numbers, the magnitude, the severeness of the problem just kind of, just becomes numbers, it just becomes something detached, something, something in a headline that, I think even for people who aren't all that clued into the climate change thing, it could just become this thing like, oh, that sounds pretty bad, whoa, anyways, what are we having for lunch? But this is a pretty big story. Obviously, this is an ongoing situation. All of the insects all over the earth are in great decline. More than 500 million bees dropped dead in Brazil within just 3 months, according to Bloomberg. Researchers say the main cause of death is pesticides, which could end up affecting more than the bees. You don't say. As some of the most integral pollinators in nature, bees contribute to the reproduction of various plants. About 75% of the world's crops depend on pollination by bees. FAO has warned about the importance of protecting bees to ensure food security. With 500 million dead in Brazil, the future of food has come into question. And not just from bees, from other things as well, from floods, heat waves, droughts. I don't think that I covered the destruction of a lot of the crops in Britain due to floods. This is a recent story, and I'm sorry I don't have it readily available. I'm not going to go digging around for it right this second, but maybe I'll dig it up. Bring it back in another video, but globally there are a lot of crop destruction, crop interruption, floods, droughts, pesticides, insect death, etc. And I can tell you firsthand that I have some experience with this in that there was some like pesticide use around my house in the garden, and there was a direct correlation. Even though the maker of the pesticide or the exterminator, the guy was like, it's totally safe for bees. Bullshit, lies. This is how they operate. They're they get the official stamp of approval from the government, the USDA, whoever. Oh, fine, it's fine for humans and animals. Doesn't cause any damage whatsoever. And then, the obvious evidence points to the fact that it causes a lot of damage. So yeah, there was some spraying going around in the garden or around my house, and all of a sudden vegetables weren't getting pollinated, vegetables weren't growing. Oh, I wonder why. And then when it stopped, the vegetables started growing, the vegetables started getting pollinated. So, that's a pretty direct correlation between the pesticide and its effect on the bees and the pollinators. This is just a huge number. 500 million dead in Brazil, bees. And so there go by state. Rio Grande do Sul had 400 million bees dead alone. There's also a link between, some of the pesticides, Roundup, especially glyphosates, in encephalitis, I think that's what it's called, in children, where they're born with a small head. And they were trying to blame this condition on the Zika virus. And a lot of people called bullshit on that because it was a cover, because there was a lot of studies and research showing that there was a direct link between glyphosate and these pesticides and this condition of babies being born. And then all of a sudden you heard that Zika was linked to this condition which was an obvious cover for the fact that it was, no, it's actually pesticides. The whole Zika scare has kind of died out, and I think a lot of people thought that it was just a ruse or a cover for other things. You kind of heard a lot about it in the news, and it just kind of went away because a lot of people were like, no, I don't think so. So thank, alternative reporting and alternative news, independent news channels for reporting on that. And, the powers that be see when people can see through things, and they kind of give up the ghost after a little while. That's why it's important to have independent news outlets such as this one. So scary story. I'm going to link this article below, and thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. If you would like to support this channel, you can do so at the links below. Until next time, peace.